Hey Rockstar, Steve aka Void here. Welcome to another episode of RIFFSTARTER, where I help you play your favorite riffs from day one by removing all those annoying speed bumps and roadblocks that slow you down. All the strategies and techniques from the show can be found in my best-selling book, Practice Less, Play More. And if you want my help to play songs the same day that you start them, then definitely check out playfromday1.com. Welcome to today's episode. So today is my birthday, and I thought that a great song for that would be Birthday by the Beatles. And you know, I was looking for different songs that that could represent birthday or birthday related. And anyway, there's just the Beatles song is like one of the catchiest songs, so I thought we'd focus on that. But I also wanted to focus on it because it's one of those songs that sounds simple, but when I looked at the tab, I could see all of those potential speed bumps and roadblocks that slow you down. And so what we're going to do is we're going to jump into it. Let's actually just get to it right now. So here, we're not getting any younger, right? So anyway, so check this out. Basically, when guitar players typically look at tabs, they're looking at a face value. So basically you're going like second fret, we slide from the 4th fret to the 6th fret, then we play the 5th fret on the 2nd string, then we bend up a half step bend on the 7th fret, okay, cool, 7th fret, and then 5 on the 2nd string, slide down to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So it's like, okay, cool. So you look at that and you look at every single move. And then if your fingers, you might have a choice here of like what finger you're going to use. So it might be the middle finger or index finger. Okay, and then if you don't get the bend with the right finger, you might get stuck there. Okay, and I mean, it kind of sounds like Birthday, but you know, if you're playing, might not get this bend because you might not be on the right finger or with the right, like not having good balance here. And this is kind of what it ends up sounding like, where you're basically playing the song, like what resembles a song. You're playing the instructions, but it doesn't really ever sound like the riff, okay? Now, this is because a lot of guitar players, instead of trying, like basically what they do, they try matching their current skill level to the level of the riff. And what I want you to do is I want you to match the riff to your current skill level to start. And that's how you play from day one. From there, then we upgrade until it sounds like the original, okay? So that's what this show is all about. And it's so funny how some people watch this show and I get comments inside the comments. That's not how you play that riff, because they watch me play like some simple version or something like that. And they're kind of missing the point of the show. So anyway, this is all about giving you some ideas to play the song from day one, because playing at face value doesn't really make that much sense. So what we're going to do instead, first, is instead of trying to play all of the different moves here, the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we get the melody, okay? We get the melody only. And the way that we do that is we want to remove any of the extra stuff that isn't the melody, okay? So when we're singing the song, like da 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 na 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 na, da 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 na 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 na, like that's just all notes, that's it. And you don't have to be able to sing it perfectly. I'm not singing it perfectly, but we want to just realize the melody. Now I'm just going to give you some ideas here. And also with the picking, we're just going to keep it to downstrokes. Usually when we start, we're going to do something like downstrokes. Just keep it as simple as possible. So it would be something like this, all in one area. So I'm just playing like a staircase shape here, like 7, 6, 5, and then I'm playing the 8th fret of the 2nd string. Now, I'm not necessarily like teaching you this song. I'm just giving you more like ideas of strategies, what you can do to get around situations like this. So the song could sound like this, at least on day one. And then you go up. Same exact shape. And then basically you're going to play all the same stuff. All the same stuff. So you're basically consolidating it down to the same shape instead of what it shows on here, which is, you know, it's the same kind of pattern, but in different locations on different strings. Okay. And that's when you move vertical like that. Move vertically, it's sometimes it's tricky because you know you have to shift everything down. The bend feels different, the slides feel different, whereas here it's all pretty much the same, right? So wherever we could do that, we want to do that. Okay, and also the tab. So sometimes it's like, what I'm doing here is relocation. Okay, we're not going to take face value. The tab is just a suggestion. Okay, so there's that. So that's what I would start with. On day one, I would start with that, because on day one, you have to be playing music. Like, for you to feel motivated and to want to continue, and also to get, like, just to get that win, you have to play something musical on day one. If you're playing something like this, like, if you're trying to face value and you're trying to make sense of all those little moves, it's not the most complicated thing in the world, but for some guitar players, it's just going to sound like that, and maybe a faster version of that after a few days. But what we want instead is, like, put on the record or get together with some buddies and start playing, right? Just get into it. And that's what we want. We want to make sure that we can play the song, at least some version of it. And I call it, you know, day one version, like, or your musical version. You got to play music. You got to get used to playing music as a guitar player. So that's what I would do first, is I would play that like that. Okay, so with that pattern, then what you can do is you can maybe start making some of the getting some of it smoother with maybe a slide or something like that. So you slide, instead of going, you just slide to that 8th fret. Like that, okay? And then all those would be the same. Okay, so that would be another way to do it. Like, you're getting some of the smoothness into it. You're introducing it, but you're introducing it after you've already developed the melody. Like, especially if you're a more intermediate player, like, if you can get this pattern, the simplified version, if you can get that within like 5 or 10 minutes, great. That's awesome. Get it done. You know, get something done, because I don't want you to leave your first practice session where you don't have music. Like, think about that. Your return on investment will be 0. Like, you want to have something musical. Okay, so that's what I would do first. Then I would upgrade it with the slide. Then you could add the bend if you want. So then I would do that. I would stay with that. I would upgrade that. And then if you want to start going more horizontal, like what they have on the tab, you know, you could do that, or you can have all slides. You can always go back and forth. So, like, if you've achieved bends with this, you don't have. It's not like you can never go back to slides. You always want to simplify it to your level, something that's comfortable, something that is it's going to be musical. Okay. So I'd probably go like, probably start with something like with slides, okay? Then you could probably move that. Also, you can move that up. So you don't have to go down like what the tab says. The tab says go to the 3rd fret here on the 2nd string. You could keep it all on the 3rd and 2nd string. You can keep it just like this pattern, but shift it up the fretboard. You know, what would it be? Yeah. So you can shift it up. You don't have to do what the tab says. You know, it's just a suggestion. The tabs are just a suggestion. But anyway, once you get that under your belt, you know, also you get like, it's gonna be way easier to then get the bend, because you're so familiar with the different moves. And that's really the point here, is this is why playing from day one makes sense. This is why this methodology works, is because the first day you play something musical. So instead of trying to match your current skill level to the level of the riff, match the riff to your current skill level. That's how you play from day one. Then you have a musical foundation. Then you upgrade on that musical foundation. As you're practicing that, you could still play the version that you have. And then every single thing, like once you're able to play the version you're practicing, it then goes to practice. Or sorry, goes to playing mode. You upgraded your playing version, and now that version has upgraded, and it builds off of, like they keep building on each other. Then you're practicing the next upgrade. And then as you're practicing that, you have the playing version. I call these the 2 paths. You're still playing the song, but you're practicing the new part that's too tricky to play. You see what I mean? Like, we're upgrading, and this is like where you're in the laboratory working on stuff, and this one is where you're on stage playing. Okay, so you work on this until it sounds good musically, then it turns into the playing version, and you keep upgrading until either you're playing like the record, exactly like George Harrison and John Lennon, or until you scratch the itch. Like if you're done after the first round, like if you play, hey, I want to play Birthday by the Beatles, and you play this, And you play that along with the record, with the first simplified version. If that scratches the itch for you and you want to move on to another riff, go for it. Or if you want to move on to the next section of the song, go for it. What I find a lot of guitar players do is they'll just stay stuck on the same part, that same bar that I just showed you. Like, they'll be here for weeks and never ever get out. And like, that's crazy. That's just crazy to me. I've been there, by the way. I'm not hating on that. I'm just like, I've been there as well. And so that's why I've developed this methodology and why it works, is because you don't want to get stuck on a bar. Like, what kind of existence as a musician is that? We want to make sure that as a musician, you're playing songs, playing from start to finish, you know, and you're playing with other musicians and all that good stuff. And if you're stuck on, you know, one bar of music, because, you know, your inner perfectionist is saying, no, it has to be like this, then in my experience, like, that's just not a winning battle. So I want you to think about it this way. Instead of trying to match your current skill level to the level of the riff, match the riff to your current skill level. That's how you play from day one. All right. So that is today's episode. Let me just double check here. Awesome. Thanks for the birthday wishes, guys. I really appreciate it. And again, if you want to check out playfromday1.com, if you need my help to do this on songs that you love and to just get this same day songs mentality, play from day one, where you're simplifying the song to your level, and then you know how to upgrade until it sounds like the original, or until you scratch the itch, then definitely check out playfromday1.com. All right. So that is it for me for today. I hope you have a great day, and we'll chat soon. Take care.